In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an agamograph, which is a piece of artwork composed of two or more separate images. As the viewer passes by the piece, the image morphs from one image into the second or the third. The word agamograph is named after artist Yaacov Agam, an Israeli sculptor and experimental artist best known for his contributions to optical and kinetic art. Agam was born in 1928 and is considered to be one of the most famous kinetic artists in the world. To create a two-image agamograph, all you need to do is create two separate works of art and then cut them up into strips of equal size. Here, I cut my strips into 1-inch pieces and then I attached them to an accordion folded sheet of paper that was folded in 1-inch increments. Now you can see the warm color painting from one angle and the cool color painting from the other. So you just got to see a two-image agamograph, and now I want to show you how you can make a three-image agamograph. The difference is in a three-image agamograph, you need to fold your paper so that you're creating hills and valleys. So that this time, when you're putting on the strips of your image, you're using three images, with one image being on the right side, one image being on the left side, and one image being in the spaces in between. Here is my finished example. From the left side, you see a cool color image. From the center, you see the rainbow multicolored image, and from the right, the warm colored image. The paper that we're using is 9 by 12 inch paper, so you'll be making three different paintings that are all within the same theme, and those will be 9 by 12. Then we'll need to use one full sheet of 12 by 18 paper and another half sheet of 12 by 18 paper. This right here is a prepared piece of paper that started out this large. So you can see how much it's shrunk after folding it and attaching it together to create the hills and valleys. Okay, I just want to show you now how to fold the paper and attach it to create these hills and valleys you see here. And all you're going to need to do this is tape. Okay, so I've already placed a dot at each inch using a ruler on the top and the bottom of the paper. Okay, and then connected. These lines are where we're going to fold. So the first thing you want to do is just get your paper folded. Don't worry about what direction you're folding it. I like to have the pencil line down so that I can see that I'm folding it just on the line. So I'm just going across, gently folding it on the line. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use my fingers and press down. All right, now I'm gonna do that again on the next one. And right now I'm not worrying about which direction it's folding, forward, backwards, or whatnot. I'll do that later. I'm just getting the initial fold. Concentrate on just carefully making a fold on each of those pencil lines before doing anything else. These two will be connected here. This will then be a valley. So we have a hill and a valley. Now this is where we'll have the next hill. So this is going to fold back. Since I already had it folded, it folds back very easily. And then this will be my next hill. Okay, so now you can see how we have two hills and a valley. Two. Okay, so two hills, one valley are now folded. Continue to make all of your folds before attaching anything together. Okay, so now I have this half piece folded, okay, and I'm going to show you how to connect the half piece to the full piece and then how to do the taping so that these hills and valleys stay this way. All right, so the extra strip, I just put a squiggly line down so that I knew I'm going to overlap the other one with that. And then I'm just going to tape this down. I'm just wrapping the tape around the corner. everything here that you see is going to be layered with your actual paintings later. So if any tape is showing, it will not be showing in the end. Okay, so that's now taped down there. All right, so I want to explain how you're going to get these to stay together. So what I found worked best is to pinch where you have the hill and then flip over your paper. Okay, so this is where I had the hill. I just flipped it over, and now I'm going to put tape here on the back in 3 places. The sides and the middle. 3 pieces of tape. And that's it. Okay, now one's done. And it should feel pretty firm, like it'll stick up no problem. Okay, next one. So we have this hill here. Pinch it, flip it. Okay, and you just have to like manipulate your paper so you can get it to lay down flat. So this is where I'm gonna tape it again. Middle, and then the sides. You can see right now when you look at this, okay, with its hills and valleys, how in the center will be one work of art. You have 9 valleys for a 9 by 12 inch piece of paper that you can create your art on. You have 9 of these hills. On the left side of each hill will be one work of art. On the right side of each hill will be another work of art. So 3 total that will all be within this one 3-dimensional space. Then your paper here, which right now has tape all over the back, is going to be glued down securely to another surface when you're finished. So you won't have to worry about this curling or any of that later. And you don't have to worry about any of this stuff showing. The theme my students will be working with for their 3-image agamograph is opposites attract. They need to choose 2 opposites, and in my case, it's cool colors and horizontal lines, compared with warm colors and diagonal lines. And then my students will need to think about how their 2 opposite images can relate. What do they have in common, or what would they make if they mixed together? So for example, for mine, the similarity between the warm and the cool colors is that they're all colors. So I'm using all the colors of the rainbow in this 3rd piece. And then the connection between the horizontal lines and the diagonal lines will be curving lines that go in multiple directions. So this piece will be my center image with the 2 opposites on either side. Like me, my students will be using watercolor paint to add color to their images, and I'm also going to encourage them to outline things with Sharpie first, because the permanent Sharpie marker will not bleed or smear. When painting with watercolor paints, I'm going to encourage my students to blend colors from either one color into another color, or to fade from light to dark whenever possible to add more interest to their artwork. You can see that as I painted all of my 3 images, I skipped around so that I was not painting 2 wet areas at the same time that I did not want to have bleed together. I also worked on all 3 paintings simultaneously. So when one painting was drying, I was able to work on another of the 3 paintings. This helped me not waste any time. Once all 3 of your paintings are finished and are completely dried, the next step is then to mark 1-inch increments on the back side. You want the lines to go down the paper, so you want to make sure that you're marking the lines on the top and the bottom of the paper in the direction that you wish your agamograph to be. It helps to label each of your paintings A, B, and C. That way, on the back of the paintings, when you're numbering them, you can number A 1 through 9, B 1 through 9, and C 1 through 9. Now, when you cut carefully on your lines, you will know the order that your painting goes in. To help prepare you for gluing your paintings into your prepared agamograph paper, label the spaces starting from right to left. Yes, this seems backwards, but you want 1 to be on the right all the way to 9 on the left. As you can see, the center spaces are your B, the left spaces are your A, and the right spaces are your C. Write the numbers and the letters. That way when you glue, there's no confusion. I start by gluing in the center pieces. I like to begin by placing the pieces down in order by looking on the back of each strip and lining them up. What you should see should be your image pieced together like a puzzle. If something looks funny, you might have misnumbered or you might have your numbers out of order. Then you can begin gluing them down. I like to use Elmer's liquid glue instead of glue sticks because it sticks better. However, since you painted these with watercolor paint, you do need to make sure that you don't let the glue get on the watercolor side. It could start smearing your painting because watercolors are water soluble, so they can be re-wet and then reworked. If your papers are not staying down well, use paper clips. You can see that I paper clip many parts, especially on the hills as I work, and then I move the paper clips around so that I don't need to use as many. It doesn't take very long for the paper clips to help the paper get stuck down enough to your Agamograph base. I have another piece of advice for you. When you write down the numbers and letters on the backs of your strips of paper, always put them on the top. And then when you glue in your strips, line up the area that the number and letter are written with the area you wrote the number and letter on your Agamograph base. This way, you don't accidentally glue strips upside down. Gluing in all of these strips can be a somewhat tedious process, but the end result is so well worth it. Something that I did on mine at the very end is I glued on a strip of black on both the right and the left edge. This is something that you don't even really see in the final piece, but it is there whether you see it or not. It just blends into the background. So there is a strip of black paper on the left side and on the right side. I also glued my entire piece to a black sheet of railroad board. You could also use any kind of poster board. I like the look of it on black, but you could do yours on any color you wish. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make an Agamograph, and I hope that you're able to now make your own. If you have any questions about this process, please let me know in the comments, and of course subscribe to my channel for more art demos and tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.